Welcome to the front, Nicommandos. I'm Nico, the Iron Elf, a war elf forged in the fires of battle. Today we're going to be commanding Armchair General here with Yog B, a series where we dissect war tactics, military equipment, and modern combat developments. Hi,
Yeah.
Yog. Alright, so we are going to start with the our assessment of the Battle of Kursk. So at the start, the Ukrainians attacked with 3 brigades into disorganized FSB border guards. They shattered the resistance there pretty quickly. And then both Russia and Ukrainian forces reinforced the battle with Russians got a bunch of support from, I think it's the North Korean Third Army Corps, but they did only get about 12,000 troops. And they also reinforced with 3 VDV divisions and the 11th Army Corps armored support. So the entire corps wasn't there, but they did get quite a few tanks from that corps. The Ukrainians reinforced with 2, one air assault brigade, and then like a special forces brigade, and 2 additional mechanized brigades. So after that, after months of fighting, the Russians did push them out of the territory, and their losses were. This is the estimated losses. We're kind of guessing because both sides kind of lie about how much they've destroyed and gotten lost. What do you think of this, Yog?
So 50,000 casualties seems a lot, as well as 13,000 casualties. I don't want to say that maybe both sides are maybe overestimating their casualties just a tad bit, but I think realistically, probably the biggest casualties for the Russians were probably border guards, probably taken immediately by storm.
Yeah.
Because inside it looks pretty much like I don't want to say what they say with online where they're like, it is a cauldron. They are in this cauldron.
Yeah. I mean, they just got overrun. There's not much they could do.
Yeah, but it is border guards. I mean, I don't really expect them to be like full of tanks and stuff. Everyone's like, oh, but the border guards need to be the ones defending it. It's like, guys, they're just the border guards. Please.
Yeah.
But I think right now what happened with the casualties and the estimates, I believe in the equipment's lost. I believe both sides probably lost 790. Oh, actually, I think we missed it with the Russia one. It's supposed to be 740. Oops.
Oh, okay. 740? All right.
Yeah, that's what RS said, but...
Okay. I think... the casualties, the Russian number seems high, but if this ratio kind of holds, I am of the opinion that Kursk might have been a good idea for the Ukrainians, because the 3 VDV divisions, it took a long time for that armor support to get up there. They attacked a weak point, and they held for a long time and tied down a huge number of troops that could have been fighting elsewhere with better combined arms forces.
I think my problem is the fact that now there's a push into Sumy, and already 100 kilometers has been captured in Sumy. That's kind of like my biggest, like... If all that happened was they pushed them back to the border region, I'd be like, you know what, that was a fair fight. But because it's being pushed back into Sumy, we have to see how they do it, because if they lost a lot of equipment in Sumy and Kursk, like fighting it, it could be catastrophic, because if the loss ratio was 1-to-1, and we're looking at Ukraine here, which doesn't have much as equipment as Russia does, we're not going to have a good time.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad for the Ukrainian army.
As I say, it's like,
Shadow Lord, welcome to the stream. Yep, you're first. Welcome.
Hello.
All right. Over the course of this last week, there have been minimal territorial changes. That doesn't mean there's no fighting. There is a ton of heavy fighting everywhere. With Pokrovskov alone, there's been about 80 skirmishes a day, just at a small scale. All right, next is okay. We're skipping this one. Oh wait, this one. There we go. How do you say this? Yog.
Oh God. Okay, it's Dnipro Petrovsk. Please forgive me. Please do not assassinate me, GRU. I am trying my hardest. Please do not put me on your list. I know your list. Please do not put me on it. It is the next Oblast next to Donetsk and next to what is it? It's the one right next to Donetsk. It is to the west, and it would be in central Ukraine. The reason why I am sharing this is because this area right here, as you can see by I'm pointing, is about 1 mile, 1.5 miles away from a new oblast, which would be wild if they get into another oblast, because that just shows me that the Ukrainians really did not expect them to get this far.
Yeah.
Because if they reach that next oblast, it's going to be a big disaster, because that can easily be used to encircle like Zapzadora and the other one and like
okay.
other areas. I know this is very zoomed in, but it's the little fights that make the big fight.
Yeah. I guess I kind of have the opposite opinion, where it's like the territory. I don't care too much about the territory at this point. Most of the fighting is done at. It's an attritional war. It's not going to change because they take a city or two, even like big ones.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
But I just mean like it. I think it's whoever breaks morale first, and every little victory breaks morale.
Okay. That could be
That's
true.
how I see it more as like a morale thing. Like if you're like, oh, Oblast, we played it to the next Oblast.
Yeah.
Like we made it to the next one. We made it to the next one. We made it to the next one. Like it is little things over time. What is the? I can't think of the phrase. Something about like. Ah, gosh, I cannot think of the phrase.
That's okay. I get it. I kind of don't consider morale very often when we're talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
I just look at the numbers. So the morale does play a huge factor.
Yep. You got to be happy to win a war.
All right. Next slide. Here we go. The Su-35s. So Russia
Yep.
got some boost to their air force. Go ahead.
Yep. Right after we had streamed, I think I made a joke about like, yeah, we're really not going to see much being made right now, and then immediately something's being made right now, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm
Like,
super
oh,
excited for the lasers too. They're gonna make laser pods to go on their planes, and then they'll be safer from a lot of stuff.
I think if you look at that little red thing right there, I think that's supposed to be like a modification. As you can see below the cockpit, I think that's a modification to radar, but also an ability to put something on there as well. So I'm very curious as to what exactly is being put on there.
I thought this was just the gear flap.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm not too familiar with planes, so I could. I'm probably wrong. All right, next is too far. There we go.
Oh,
All right, Russia tested an active protection system.
yes, and it can stop javelins. I put possibly just to be safe, but it looks like the captured javelins they've been using, they figured out how to stop them.
Oh, yep, they've been testing the javelins on these active protection systems. Do we have any numbers on the success rate?
No, we've only gotten like footage of a successful test rate, so I don't want to be like, oh,
It's
I'm more
over.
like, okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I know. It looks to be though that like even the ability to stop it once is a trillion times better than to stop it never.
that's true.
Because javelins have that unique design feature, right, where they go up in the air and then go down onto their target.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks as if it looks as if the captured javelins from multiple raids are finally being used for testing. It could have been used for testing for years, and we just don't know. But it looks like this active protective system's being used on T-72s, like the later models,
Mm-hmm.
which are really funny because they're probably not. They are like 100% different from the ones that the Soviets had.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
It's probably irrecognizable to them.
Yep. I wonder if when they develop those laser active protection systems, if they'll be able to shoot javelins. They might be a little bit more heat resistant than a drone, though.
Yeah, I know we're like, I know we really like all this stuff about the lasers, but we're
True.
trying, guys. We're trying.
All right. Next is cargo drone. So they have a new cargo drone that they make this as a joint project.
No, this is a independent project by Russian companies, by a private Russian company to create a cargo drone to deliver heavier materials into the battlefield.
Ah.
It's it looks like it looks to be like a prop plane style
Mm-hmm.
uh cargo drone. The Chinese have a jet plane style one that looks like a mini C-130, but I think these would probably be more effective because they probably are a lot cheaper to make, and you could probably get stuff faster if you have like 20 of these.
Oh, that's true. Okay. I think you
But
look at the quality of its make, it doesn't look very good, in my
it is a
opinion.
prototype. We do have to be fair to them. It is a prototype. But
Yeah, but it looks like
yeah,
some dudes made it in their garage. I mean, it's definitely a company has to make this just because it has to be able to fly, but their tools don't seem very high level.
it could just, yeah, if I remember correctly, it is like a garage style company, like a smaller one. So I
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, but I think it's supposed to be like, hey, this can fly, this can carry guns and ammo. Test,
Hmm.
look at our concept, bro. We swear.
Yeah. Like, look at the propeller. It looks off to me.
I think that's because that has to store all the electronics.
Oh, okay.
It's got to be chunky to store all them electronics in there.
Yeah. Next is the VT4 news.
Yes, a Chinese V24, their export tank has been destroyed in Nigeria for the first time
Oh,
by Boko Haram terrorists. Boko Haram has now officially killed the first Chinese modern tank.
yeah. I think we should note that it's not operated by China. It was operated by Nigerians. So it's not like the Chinese got hit here. It's just their own internal fighting.
But I would like to preface that if these tanks cannot handle fighting against Boko Haram, I don't see them ever facing against NATO style forces ever.
That is true. Yeah.
I mean, these are supposed to be
It,
export tanks.
yeah. The Chinese could write it off as a skill issue, but we would need details that we don't have right now.
I think it's just I don't know, it's just funny to me because it's like the Chinese have been trying so hard to exuberate the quality of their products, but the problem is Chinese products are worse than Soviet products. I will stand by this until I die.
Oh,
That
true. Okay.
that Chinese products are worse than the Soviet products they knock off and add to.
Ah.
I mean,
Mhm.
if you really look at it, think about their Air Force. Their Air Force is like a mix of MiGs, Sukhois, homemade knockoff Israeli jets.
Mhm.
It's not classy.
True.
It's very hodgepodge and put
Yeah.
together to try to. I think it's like when you want to project power, you're gonna try your best to project power.
Yeah. I think their main focus for the next 10 years is going to be their Air Force and Navy. Their Army is not going to get any attention.
Thing is, the Chinese Air Force is kind of mediocre because I
Yeah.
don't really believe that I don't believe the hype of the J-10 or the J-15 or the
Uh,
J-20 where they're like our dragon is so, it's like I look at it, I'm like, it looks like you guys just saw what a F-35 looks like and went, Okay.
Yeah, they might be doing right now what the Soviets did in the 80s and just making it up. The Americans go, oh no, they have a 6th generation fighter. We need a 7th.
Well, the thing is, like, it's really funny. I read into like some expert analysis on the MiG-25. It's not a bad plane. It's just it wasn't properly used when it was given to the Iraqis in the Gulf War. Just an
Okay.
interceptor, you know? And people just kind of go like, it's a big meme thinking that they thought that the MiG-25 was a garbage plane. But if you actually look into it, it actually did really well in the Iran-Iraq war because it's fast.
Yeah,
It's just not good when it's put in the hand of Libyan or Iraqi pilots.
true. Alright, our next thing is the Yemen. So, Yemen has been hitting US stuff. So, they've taken out even more drones. However, I don't know if you did you get the tweet I sent you into the slides?
Yes, I got the tweet
Okay.
about the. Yes, I got the
Let's
tweet. I don't know if we're allowed to. Are we? We're not allowed to show it on stream, right?
uh we'll get there. Probably not the video, yeah.
I'm gonna say like
But
we are not allowed to show
yeah,
that
we
on
can't
stream.
we can't show that, but they did hit a meeting of what would you call it? A Yemen platoon? A militia
I don't
platoon?
know. Um, it looks like a militia style like meeting, like because that's how traditional Yemeni meetings go. Is it's all men in a circle, and then one
Yeah.
man comes forward and speaks. So I think it was probably a small platoon
Hmm.
meeting.
And they
So
blew that up.
I imagine it was probably like a local militia just coming together and going like, "All right, what are we gonna do now?" And then they just got annihilated.
Yeah, in the tweet, they said it was they were meeting to talk about their attack on cargo stuff, like how they were going to do it. So maybe it's probably not going to happen because they didn't hit very much equipment, but they might slow down the harassment of the shipping lanes in that region.
I want to call shenanigans on that assessment because there was no equipment that got hit. It was just
Yeah,
people.
yeah, but I
It,
mean the people are important.
but like okay, you know who's important is the guy who fires the missile with the GPS tracking system. The
Okay,
guy who,
that's true.
the guy who's, the guy who's not important is the guy setting it up in the desert.
Yeah, all right,
I would
fair.
like to point out I did find so the Giant Shark F360 VTLO is a $10,000 drone, so
Ooh.
significantly cheaper than the MQ-9s being shot down. I think the U.S. is moving towards
Hmm.
cheaper drones.
Yeah, okay, that would be huge if it's like because the MQ9s are what, like half a million?
No, like 30 million.
Oh no, that's so expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, drones have gotten way cheaper since the MQ9 got out. Alright, this will definitely change the I would say balance of power because Yemen was pretty strong being able to destroy that much value, but with the giant shark, they're pretty weakened after that.
Well, it really depends on what like we continue to do. If we instead of sending MQ-9s Reapers, instead of sending Reapers, we start sending like these giant sharks over,
Hmm.
then that would make sense because the Reapers were used for both striking and recon missions. So if
Ah,
we decide, okay, it's cheaper, we start using cheap recon planes and stuff, then that makes more
yeah.
sense.
Okay.
However, we have to see what else gets shot down because if this is just a one-off, like something from a boat, I get you, but I think this is a good. I think you're right. This is a good idea to start using cheaper drones because we have. I think the U.S. has kind of been the slowest to adopt new drones.
Yeah. All right.
Surprisingly, like we invented the drone.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next is the J50. So not a lot's known about this jet. They just seen some pictures of it. Um, I really have no idea what it could be. I think it's probably just stealth, right? What do you think?
Um, I think from what I've seen, it looks like a stealth plane. I want to say it's probably most likely going to be a trying to think. Probably just a strike shit like thing. People are claiming it's sixth generation, but I don't think even the Chinese have admitted anything sixth generation yet. I think they're
Mhm.
possibly just 5+ generation planes. I
Yeah,
don't think
no.
anyone's taken that into account.
Does anybody know what a sixth generation plane even for sure is yet? Like, what does
No,
that
we
mean, right?
that's the problem. We really don't have a strong definition because fifth generation's like what is it? Fifth generation's like stealth but high
Mm.
maneuverability, able to carry like extreme weapons, internal cargo bays.
I think fifth gen is more like stealth and systems integration, where like they all
Yeah.
coordinate pretty well with each other. Fifth gen
Yeah.
with DLC. True. Welcome to the stream, Canon.
A fifth gen
Welcome.
DLC. No, I think it's just like what is it? That's why like they argue like the stealth aspect is so funny to me because that's why people argue
Mm.
about the J-20 and the Sukhoi 57's fifth generation capabilities, even though every
Yeah.
expert on the planet's like, no, they're fifth gen planes.
Ah. Okay.
I love that.
Interesting.
Start if you want to start an argument on any weapons board, just be like, I love the Su-57. I really think it's
They'll
cool.
get mad.
Oh my
All
goodness.
right.
They'll be
All right.
like they'll pull out the old models that like, like the old they'll pull out just the old like models that people were looking at and be like, "Look at this. It is a
Yeah.
prototype with bolts."
Yeah. Oh, this is a really cool model. I like this. It's very
Yes,
nice.
I wanted to share because every freaking news site is using this.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is what this helicopter carrier is supposed to look like.
Oh, okay.
It is supposed to be 40 to 44,000 tons and 220 meters. It
Oh,
is supposedly supposed to be a helicopter carrier, but there's rumors that they're trying to adjust it to be a full-on carrier.
oh, very nice. I don't see a ramp either because it looks like it's mostly VTOL. Um, do what port was it being made in again? Can you remind me?
Zaliv port in Crimea.
Ah, okay, so it'll be with the Black Sea Fleet.
Actually, I think it's supposed to be with the Pacific Fleet actually.
Really? Okay. I don't see how it's gonna get there safely. Like, that would be kind of
Yeah, that's
hard.
kind of the thing cuz technically it breaks a bunch of conventions because Turkey has that conventions where it has to go into
Mm-hmm.
it has to go into a certain what is it? It has to go through the straits, and the straits do not allow aircraft carriers in.
Ah, okay, yeah. Plus,
But it allow
even if they somehow manage to convince Turkey, there's no way you would launch like Ukraine's probably gonna launch like a few hundred drones at it to try and kill it.
unless it has anti-drone stuff on it, which that's probably why it's taking so much longer.
Yeah, true. Okay.
That's probably why it would take so much longer if you really think about it. Is
Yeah.
because you got to do all this stuff.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next.
Because
Oh, that's
oh,
it. Okay.
oh look at this
It's
little
so
artwork I did of
cool.
us.
Yep. And that is the end of our stream. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This was made by Yog B. So make sure you give him a follow on Twitter. He posts a lot of really cool maps.
And
So if you need
artwork.
updates on any equipment stuff, you should follow Yog. Thank
Oh
you guys
wait,
for.
actually, I should share something I made. Let me add it real fast to the thing.
Okay.
There was one thing I made. I forgot to add it in.
Mm-hmm.
So let me add it in real fast, and we can talk about it for 5 minutes. I mean, it's just a
Okay.
few people in stream, so I don't think they don't mind.
All right.
Okay, go back.
And then view again. Ah, there we go. Let's just look at it here. Ooh, so this is all aircraft carriers currently under construction.
Yes. So we have two Project 900 amphibious assault ships by Russia, one Type 75 and one Type 76 by China, two American-class amphibious assault ships, and two Gerald R. Ford class aircraft carrier ships,
Ooh.
with one Mugen-class air drone carrier ship by Turkey.
Ah, okay. Yep. And these are all the. So this is. I don't know if the chat can see the mouse, but this is Russia, China, U.S. Navy, and Turkish Navy.
Yeah, Turkey.
All right. This is cool. Look at it. They got the little antennas.
Oh,
Hey,
Foxy's here.
Mackie.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome. All right. I think. And that was our last slide. What's good, homies? Nothing. We just finished up Armchair General. I think
Yeah,
we're.
that's
Yep. At the very
That's
end.
really funny because I see people starting to join in because they're like,
Yep.
"Oh, hey, I'm finally here."
Yep.
Mackie,
So
you should
let's go
see the
ahead
artwork I
and.
did.
Yeah, it's so nice.
I
Cute.
really like. Which one? What do you like about it? Before we, let's get to 30 minutes and then.
Oh,
But
I like the maps here. I like the little
yes,
maps in the back. Iran is having a straight up having a bad time.
I know.
Rip.
I was like, I'll make it nuclear.
Yep. Hey Shadow, welcome to the stream. Shadow
Hello.
is on YouTube. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and raid Wolfram, who is playing WWE. So it'll be a little bit of a change. But look forward to tomorrow, everyone. I think we're doing a let me look. Oh, on Sunday we will be playing War Thunder with Yariko. All right, have a good weekend,
Nice.
everyone. Happy Friday. Bye
Bye,
bye.
everybody. Have a great day.